Hey everyone, welcome back to Barnes' Garage. We're here today to do some things on the Epica to get it ready for sale. Now if you missed my video on me driving it home from the auctions, go back and have a look at it. But today what we're going to do is cleaning the interior, give it a wash, and fixing up that tensioner pulley. So that shouldn't take too long, right? Anyway, let's get into it. Alright, moving the Epica into the garage. Oh, and you remember it's got that awful tensioner noise. Oh my God. 2-footing it. Oof, I think it sounds worse. Maybe after sitting for a while. Anyway, yes, my garage is a tip. I'll have to clean it up one day. So, let's start. I won't bore you with vacuuming a whole car. But basically it's not too dirty to start with, so the main problems is this, it's got a bit of grunge everywhere. So I'll crack on with the vacuuming and we'll come back in a sec. Well, that was pretty quick. Took me about 30 seconds. I think what it was is that it is basically, it was me just vacuuming up the detritus from my lunch I had on the way home. I had a pie, so it flaked everywhere. But it's got me thinking, because I can smell in here, it smells like an Uber. You know, Ubers have that specific smell. To me, it smells exactly like an Uber. This is 10 years old. So once a car's hit 10 years old, you can't use one Uber anymore. So I reckon, although it's got a low case, so maybe not, but definitely smells like an Uber, and it is very clean. So maybe it was an Uber for a short time. Let me see. So well, now we've got to clean the detritus and the build-up of accumulation of, I don't know what, spilt drinks and skin and all that sort of stuff. So what I do is I just use a brush, microfiber cloth, and this stuff. So what it is this Maguire's all-purpose cleaner. Now I've had this bottle for years and years and years, and we've still got some left. It does last a long time, so you mix it up 10 to 1. It is very good at removing everything. Now you got to be a little bit careful sometimes, not on these newer cars but older cars, or if you don't put it 10 to 1, you put it at 20 to 1 or something, and it's a bit stronger, it will take these white little information things off dials and stuff like that. So you do have to be a little careful, but it works really well. So I'll just do a little, we can see we've got bits and crap here, so I'd always just spray it on, get a cloth, wipe it off. See, it's got, that's where the little brush comes in handy to get into that little pile of detritus there. Some unstickiness. Give it a bit of a wash around. Get the cloth back in there. It's working so well, that stain's still there. Okay, it does work mostly. Maybe it's any built stain. So we've got the cup holder, which looks god awful. I basically just liberally spray everything. That's also awful because all the silver's come off it, and then this will probably take the rest of the silver off it. Spray it on. Get out your little brush. Brush it around. It is a bit dark in here, so I don't know if you can see very well. But I'm in my garage because it's godly hot outside, so, and I live on a steep hill, so there's nothing worse than trying to get in and out of cars on a hill. Just swirl around. Get out the cloth. And just give her a wipe. You can see it doesn't come out very well on camera, but that is very black already. Now obviously you can do a bit more if you want to get a bit further into it, but I mean, this is going to be a cheap car to flip, so we don't need a $500 detail. We just need a quick detail so it looks decent, and we'll go from there. So I'll keep cleaning the interior, because we've got things like, I mean, they're not too bad. This is not too bad, to be honest. So anyway, I'll keep going and we'll reconvene. Do I say reconvene too much? What's a better word than reconvene? Put in the comments down below. What's a word I can say instead of reconvene? I say reconvene all the time. Let me know. Anyway, we'll reconvene after this. See. So I was just cleaning away here and I saw something that leads me to believe this really was an Uber car. Look at that grab handle. So unless this person had a lot of passengers, I don't know, when a grab handle gets that filthy, that means a lot of people are sitting in the front seat. And yeah. Yeah. So anyway, I thought I'd share that with you. Uber City. I knew the smell. I knew it smelled like an Uber car. Anyway. And just for kicks, that's what it's supposed to look like. Yeah. Okay. I bought an Uber car. What about the back one? Is that dirty? Yes. Not as bad as the front one. Oh well. Let's keep going. So that was done. That was a reasonably quick one as well. Notice the theme here? It cleaned up pretty. I mean, it wasn't that dirty. I mean, you think it's not that dirty, but I'll show you. This is a cloth that I used. This was brand new. So, you know, even in a clean car you can find detritus and dirt. And just notice the boots peeling. Well, anyway, so we'll move on to the tensioner while we're here. I probably should give these headlights polish. They are a bit yellow. They don't look too bad in the sun. Now I can see the tensioner, but I don't think I'll be able to show you. He's down in there somewhere. Maybe I'll get a torch. Check 1, 2. There we go. Does that make it better? Yes. So the tensioner is that one straight there. Let me see. Oh, torching around. Is this going to work? This one. Oh. No. So it's basically that one. That first one you can see there, it's attached to a tensioner that you can't see. So all I need to do, I'll show you the other one that I bought. There's the box for it, that's handy. We'll just talk amongst ourselves while I try and find it. What did I do with it? Okay, so this is the new tensioner. I'll put that there for a second. We'll crack her open with one hand. Always easy. So basically this is it. Although this seems to be, no, that's it. So that's how it goes on. Pretty simple, right? So basically you put the bolt in there, and to loosen the tension to start with, to get the belt off, all you need to do is put this in here and turn it, and it loosens it. You can take the belt off, one screw. I don't think the one there has this thing. Maybe that's just a rod you take out. I'd say so. And then it tensions maybe once you put it on. I don't know. Probably should Google it. So I think it may be easier if I take this, for want of a better term, beauty cover off. I think it's just attached with, no, use your fingers, 4 little bolts. So I'll take that off, and we'll give it a crack. All right, time to take the beauty cover, or plastic crap, as Scotty likes to call it. Just 10 millimeters really. That one's missing, which is never a good sign. Someone forgot to put them back on. I have loosened them obviously in the magic of television. The magic of television. Now it's a good idea not to lose these. Where can I put them so I won't lose them? Right there. Not right there. Right there. Ooh, refreshment break. No, not that one. That one. Take these out. Last one. Which will get straighter. And hopefully that's all. Yes. I still got the nuts, the washers rather, in there, so let's not lose them. So I'll just place this on the floor. Does that make it easier? Just for you to see? Not really. It's going to be a real pain to get out, because all the way, can you see that? All the way right here is the tensioner. We're going to release the tension. Should be right. Plenty of space, right? Anyway, I'm going to try and get it off, and then we'll come back. Jack. Okay, guys, see, it's getting a bit dark now, but you can see I've taken the belt tensioner off. But the funny thing was, when I took off the belt tensioner, a couple of things concerned me about this particular belt tensioner. Number one, can you see there? Maybe not. It says it was manufactured the 5th of the 7th, 2019. So what, it's been on the car for what? Had to ship all the way from where it was made, and go to a parts store, then sit there, and then be sold. So, you know, it's probably been on, what, a year max? You probably can't see that either. So it says it's made in Slovakia. So if something is made in Slovakia and it's been on there for, what, a year, I'm a bit reticent to believe that it could fail in such a short time, especially it's got 200,000 Ks on. So out of 200, how many happened in the last year? Who knows? You know, was it 50,000, 100,000? Probably not. So the tensioner should last longer than that. So I had a quick Google to see if it could be anything else other than the tensioner. And as it turns out, these motors are also fitted to GM, Holden, Chevrolet Captivas. And there's a lot of stuff on the internet about what happens is it looks like a belt tensioner, but it's actually this little pulley on the alternator. I'll just shine the torch in there. So there's a little pulley on the alternator that's got a clutch on it, and they go out, you know, quite often, and people confuse that for the belt tensioner because it starts to make the motor skip. And once the symptoms are, once you rev it a bit, it smooths itself out and goes away. So I did a little test, which I found on YouTube actually, to tell you, so you can tell whether the clutch pulley, I guess, on the alternator is stuffed or not. And I'll show you how. Let's have a look. So if we have a look here, we can see the alternator, and it spins freely, right? But as I told you before, this is one of those special alternators with a clutch, and the way you test the clutch is inside the fins here, where I'm sticking the screwdriver. There is little fins. Now as I turn this now, it should go one direction by itself, and the other side should stop. So if we go there, look, it stops, it doesn't keep turning. And if we go this way, it also keeps turning. So each way. So this is meant to keep spinning. So, so this is meant to be spinning freely one way by putting the thing in there. So the impeller says it's meant to have it's meant to have a clutch on the front, so it's meant to keep spinning. And it doesn't spin either way once it catches the impellers there. So there you go. So I think it's the clutch pulley on the alternator rather than the tensioner pulley. And I think I mentioned tensioner pulley in my video on this video 5,000 times, and it turns out not to be that at all. It turns out to be a pulley on the alternator with the clutch goes. You know, that's surprising to me. It's surprising to everyone, because apparently from what I read, that dealers keep changing the tensioner and it doesn't really fix the problem and they're lost. Anyway, good old Google and YouTube. You never know what you can find on there. It's always helpful. So I have to take the alternator off. You can buy the little clutch bit itself. They are a bit of a bear to get to. You can't just, they don't just unscrew. The pulley doesn't just unscrew itself from the body of the alternator. So it's a bit of a special tool need and so forth. So I'm just going to take it down to, I had a quick ring around, took it down to, so I had a quick ring around. The local auto electricians in the local area, a lot of them said no, too hard basket, but one guy said yeah, just bring it down, bring the part with you, we'll just whack it in, $10. So he reckons, yeah, I asked him if he knew how hard it was and he said it did. He's got the tool, so I will take it down to him and hopefully he can fix it, because a new alternator, well, if I want to do the pulley myself, to buy you know, some new Chinese made tools, which I'm sure are cheap enough. But I don't really have time. I want to flip this car soonish rather than having to sit on it for a while. So we'll take it to him, see what happens, stick it all back together and see if it runs. So I think that'll probably be it for this video anyway. Please do subscribe and like this video and watch my other videos. I've got videos on this, Telstar, and of course my old Rover V8. Have a look around, and I'll do another video on the Epica shortly. And we might polish the headlights and give the outside a wash and give it a flip. And I'll let you know how much it goes for. And yes, I know my garage is a tip. I'll catch you all in the next one.